Having a few chickens at home is simple. I gather eggs from my adult flock. You can keep them for up to 5 days. They're in a sort of a suspended animation state. So I gather them up as long as you don't refrigerate them. So I gather them up for 5 days, keep them unrefrigerated, and then I start them all on the same day in my incubator. They stay in the incubator. Chickens incubate for 21 days before they hatch. What I do is I mark one side of the egg with an X and one side of the egg with an O, and then I turn them once a day when I do the chores and feed the other chicken. So that way I can tell at a glance, well, they're all X's, so I got them all. If I come back the next day, I change them all to O's, and if I see a couple X's, then I know that I missed a couple. Otherwise, you don't know for sure if you get them all when you turn them. That was my binary way of figuring that out. Chickens incubate at 100 degrees and have a typical industry hatch rate of about 50%. So if you need 20 chickens, you better save 40 eggs. I also like to incorporate some smaller hands to help me out and learn about how food is produced down on the farm. In this instance, I'm showing my grandson how I turn the eggs, and this is a good day for him to come out and learn this because it's also hatch day. It's the 21st day, and this is early in the morning. We're hoping by afternoon we're going to have some chickens hatch. And afternoon, about 4 o'clock, we open it up, and there's our first baby chicks. They're nice and healthy, and they're fine to run around in the incubator for a day or two. And when you mail order them, they send them. It takes a couple days to get to you. And chickens don't need any food or water for about the first 2 days after they hatch. But in our case, there's no point in delaying because we're moving them on to stage 2. Stage 2 is an old stock tank, an old galvanized metal stock tank that I recycled. It had a few holes in the bottom, and I patched them up with some sheet metal. And I was looking for a lid, and I was also getting ready to throw away this nice storm door, aluminum storm door, and I thought, well, let's see if that fits, and it was about a perfect fit. Has a handle, it has glass panels so I can keep the chicks warm, but I can see them inside. So we put them down here under a heat lamp that's clamped to the center post of the stock tank, and the chicks gather underneath that. Now I already have a few in here that I collected earlier. And I just scatter their feed around on the bottom of the tank for the first week before I put a chick feeder in. Make sure they have plenty of water. And in this case, there's few enough chicks that I can actually keep the chick starter. I get commercial medicated chick starter, and I just keep that right in the stock tank with these little boogers. Little peepers, I guess they are. I use a chick waterer. And then I close it up. I leave it. The handle props it open just enough to leave about a 2-inch gap that vents the exhaust from the droppings out good, but still keeps them nice and warm. And then after 3 weeks, I put them out in an outside pen where they can run in and out. I have these guys out with some chicks that are about, these guys are 3 weeks old, and I've introduced them to a flock of about 4-month-old chicks. And I found that as long as they have cover that they can run under and they can hide and get off as a group, they like to stay as a group, but the other chickens don't really pick on them as long as they have some place they can retreat to with a little cover. You can see for the big chicks, I have this log laying there that they used to go in and out of the chicken house with, but there's actually a place for the babies to run underneath. But I've got one that thinks he's a big chicken, and he's going to go up the stick and practicing. And these guys are 3 weeks old, and this is their first day outside, and they're just enjoying it themselves, scratching around, eating some bugs and seeds and crumbles on the ground. They can almost disappear there in the broken shade. My chicken pens, I don't have to worry about predators from the sky because I put roofs on mine. And here's the 4-month-old ones in here. I have some meat chickens in here that are 4 months old. These things are the size of small dinosaurs. The males are so big they can barely stand up. I got a barred rod.